Take away a sense of safety. Like, I always have a constant fear.
A North Andover teen, emotionally scarred to this day after living through the trauma of a sexual assault at the hands of a high school classmate and then being silenced by her school.
I was told not to speak about it at all by my assistant principal.
She's one of two students coming forward to 5 Investigates who felt like they were being punished, not protected by their school, after telling school administrators they were attacked by North Andover High athlete Eli Tuttle, who was criminally charged and put on probation in one of the cases. Safety plans were put in place after the school found no Title IX violations. One victim was given this contract that threatened discipline if she didn't avoid contact with Tuttle, including staying away from the gym where he practiced and competed.
Day to day, I was verbally threatened to be disciplined if I did not abide by the safety plan, and he was allowed to continue on his sports teams and continue his education.
When I went back to the school, I was told to go in a room upstairs, and they had a man follow me around the school.
I mean, that to me is very egregious.
Dr. Nan Stein has served as a Title IX expert for decades and reviewed the North Andover school and police records for 5 Investigates.
I think there were Title IX violations, and I also think the school doesn't have a clue what the remedy would look like.
What should have happened in this case?
Well, that sounds more like they were put into exile or punishment of some sort if they were confined, right, to the guidance office or a classroom.
They made us feel like we did something wrong.
5 Investigates requested the number of Title IX investigations and outcomes in North Andover schools during the past 3 years. Here's their response. 53 pages of redactions. Even the dates were blacked out. A sharp contrast from Superintendent Greg Gilligan's belief in transparency touted in this email. While the outcomes of the school's investigations are still in the dark, these survivors and a new criminal charge against Eli Tuttle are shining a light on the missteps in these cases. Now 18, Tuttle is accused of violently raping a New Hampshire teen he was on a date with, all while on probation in one of the North Andover cases where he was charged with indecent assault and battery. Students have walked out in protest. Parents are outraged.
The school failed. They had one job, and that was to make sure it didn't happen again.
We've discovered right now the Federal Office of Civil Rights, which oversees Title IX complaints, is looking into the way 9 other Massachusetts school districts have handled investigations involving sexual violence or sexual harassment in recent years. Attorney Wendy Murphy is working with some of the North Andover victims.
You can punish, restrain, put all kinds of conditions on the behavior of offenders. You cannot do that to a victim.
The Tuttle family says their son stands accused of crimes he didn't commit. We discovered there's no data related to the number of Title IX investigations and outcomes in local schools, but complaints about how schools carry out those investigations is tracked. Since July of 2017, the state found 2 districts didn't handle cases correctly. Kathy Curran, 5 Investigates.